Hello, bookish friends. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And I got my doggos today. I don't know if he'll let me pick him up. Let's see. Oh, can you see him? Come here. I wanted to pick you up. Anyways, he's down here. Hopefully he won't be too loud. He is just chilling by my feet, which is next to the tripod stand, so sorry if you hear any of his noises. Angel is also over here on the couch, or on the beanbag, sorry. And Rocket is right here, of course, for those who don't know, my two precious dogs. Anyways, I am here to film a lot of videos today, so you might see this shirt in a couple videos coming up soon. It is the end of the month, so you guys know what that means. It is time to bulk film like crazy. And for me, I'm personally behind on a lot of videos. I have like 10 videos I want to film this weekend, and I'm a little stressed out about it. So the first video that we're gonna film today is gonna be dun, 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 dun. Go to bed. Go on the bed, Bubba. Sorry. Is my May book haul. Yes, I cannot wait to be doing this book haul. I have some amazing new books here to add into my collection. How many books? I only got one book sent to me from Penguin Teen this month, but in June, sorry, my dogs don't love blankets. Does your dogs love blankets? ADHD is going on. Anyways, let's jump into this book haul. Let's talk about the books I'm currently reading. You guys know I always start off my book hauls with currently reading, and I always ask you guys what you guys are currently reading. Also, question to answer at the end is, how many books in June did you read? Right now, I'm on my 12th book, and I'm hoping to finish another one today. So the book that I'm currently reading is actually a graphic novel, so I should be finished with this book after I'm done filming. And that is The Mortal Instruments graphic novel, volume 8 by Cassandra Clare and art done by Cassandra Jean. Right now, I just got to chapter 45. These are split up into different volumes, of course. So I'm on chapter 45, which is... I actually don't know the pages because these don't have the page numbers like the other graphic novels do. So hard to get to the page. Chapter 45 is on page 79, so I'm more than halfway through. This is only like 200 and something pages according to Goodreads, so I'll definitely be finishing this book, this graphic novel, after the bulk filming. I do know a couple of my friends are sprinting today, so maybe I'll catch one of them and see what they're reading. And then after reading that, I'm gonna try and squeeze in one more thriller for Dana over at Dana Ella. She is hosting the Camp Nightmare readathon that's hosted by Throws and Chills. And so one of the reading challenges is Emergency Contact. Read a book from an author you read before. And so that one I picked You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. You guys know Karen M. McManus is one of my favorite authors ever, so I'm so excited to be reading this one. This is one that I got from, is it Rainbow Crate? I don't think it's Rainbow Crate. I think I got it from the giveaway because it has a signed book plate, and generally I don't get those unless it's like giveaways. So it must have been like one of the Goodreads giveaway or Instagram giveaways. But anyways, I'm stoked to be reading this. I love her writing. She's an auto-author for me. One of Us is Lying is my favorite series by her. It's like her only series she has out, but those are some of my favorite reads by her. I'm 3 books behind, including this one. So once I read this, I'll be 2 down. But yeah, hoping I'll love this. This is giving me like a 4-star feeling, maybe 5 stars, depending on how it goes. But this might be my last book for Camp Nightmare, which is, once again, hosted by my friend Dana, all throughout the month of June. Can you guys believe we're already, like, July? Like, at the time of me filming this, it's almost July. That's crazy. Anyways, let's jump into the actual book haul. There's a lot of books here, a lot of sequels, a lot of first books in series. Some books I've already read, some books I haven't read yet. So let's just jump in, talk about books. I got my hydro right here. Make sure you guys have something to drink and grab a snack because we're going to sit here and talk about books. So the first book I'm very excited for. I'm sad I didn't get the special deluxe edition of this because by the time I got to this book, the deluxe edition sold out. And I'm so sad. But that is Watch Me by Tahara Mafi. This is Tahara Mafi's newest book in the Shadowhunter. Whoa. In the Shatter Me universe. This is the first book of the spin-off series that takes 10 years after Ignite. Is it Ignite Me? I'm a fake fan. What's the final book? Ooh, that crease noise though. Hello? Do you not have it? Imagine Me is the last one. Sorry, fake fan. This takes place 10 years after Imagine Me, and we follow some of the side characters from the series as these main characters, if that makes sense. Very popular dystopian series, very current to the world right now. It says, lose yourself in an exhilarating return to the #1 book's bestseller, Shadow Me universe. So, I very butchered that, and I'm so sorry. Stay up. The next book I have is a very pretty edition. I got this at Barnes & Noble a couple days early at the time, and I was shocked that they had early releases there. But that is His Face is the Sun by Michelle Habas Corpora, I think is how you say the author's name. This is a beautiful edition. So this is the front cover, the back with all the praises. This says, A New Ring is Coming, book 1 of the series. And then, hello, sprayed edges on a normal edition hardcover. Yes, please. And the map is gorgeous. And then there's nothing underneath, sadly, but these sprayed edges are stunning. I really don't remember too much about this except when I first read it at Barnes, I was like, ooh, this sounds like something I will love. So let me read this to you, and sorry if I butcher any words. This says, Princesses, Priestess, Rebel, Thief. Tension runs as hot as the communist winds in the great kingdom of Ketera. Rumors of the mysterious illness abound, and with them murmurs of a rebellion grows. Meanwhile, in the quiet desert, a forgotten oracle begins to unfold, setting a dark prophecy into action and drawing together 4 strangers. Like what? 4 strangers coming together? There gotta be a whole lot of tension. I can't wait for this. I believe this had like enemies to lovers in here as well. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't know too much about it because it is a new release. And I generally don't buy new releases like that, but this one sold me with the pretty edition that it was. The next one, Penguin Teen sent me this. And I will be reading this one in the month of July, and that is Time After Time by Mickey Daughtry, I think is the author's last name, so sorry if I butcher it. This is a YA contemporary standalone novel that is a modern day story, and I don't know what's in this story, to be honest. I generally go into my books blind, so I don't really read synopsis, so sorry if you hear for that. But this one says, Libby has always been inexplicably drawn to the old Victorian house on Milbourne Lane. So much so that when she sees a for sale sign goes up in the front yard, Libby uses all the money her grandmother left her to pay for college to buy the house instead, determined to fix it up herself, even though she knows her parents will be furious. Tish, a brash, broken fellow student, doesn't need much to get by. She can fix almost anything, so she makes do by building sets for the theater department and working odd jobs at the nearby salvage yard. Tish passes by the house one day and is mysteriously compelled to knock on the door. Libby offers her a room in exchange for her help with repairing the old house. And as they begin to work together, the two quickly find themselves growing closer. Oh, so it seems like it's going to be a sapphic love story, which is right up my alley. I love queer characters and all that representation. That's what my channel is mostly focused on, is reading queer and own diverse voices. So I can't wait to read this. Thank you, Penguin Teen, for sending this my way. The next book I have, all these covers and like designs have been like beautiful. This one is my May Owlcrate book, so if you haven't received your box yet, which you should by now, but just in case you don't want to be spoiled, look away real quick. But I'll leave my May Owlcrate unboxing up above or down below. But we have Salvicon. I don't know how to say this word correctly. I'm so sorry. This is Salvicon by Sandria Proudman. This is a first of a YA fantasy series, I believe. This is also the author's debut fantasy novel. We're very stoked for this. I think my dog's wanting to go out, so hold on. I'll be right back. But that angel wanted to go out. I don't know why, but she did. But this is Salvicon. It's a first ever YA fantasy series, and it's a stunning debut novel too, because look at this gorgeous cover. Like, the back has a quote. The back says, "I was a Salvicon whether I worn the mask or not." And then underneath the dust jacket, there's a beautiful foil on cover. And then there's a quote in Spanish that I won't be saying, but if anybody here speaks Spanish and can translate this, I would love to know what it says. Beautiful sprayed edges with stencil designs on it, and a ribbon bookmark. Beautiful artwork on the end papers. Letter from the author and signed by the author, which I think is pretty cool. And then again, more beautiful artwork on the back. And let me grab the... Oh, I can't even pick it up. Here is the beautiful reversible dust jacket as well. And once again, I'll leave my Owlcrate unboxing up above or down below. Definitely check that out if you haven't yet. I don't know too much about this as well, just like what it says from Owlcrate. I do know it was one of my most anticipated reads for the month of May, and I was happy to see that this was in the Owlcrate box. So I've been loving their boxes lately. I don't know about you guys. Next one I have is a shorty but a goodie. I haven't read this one yet, but I've been hearing great things about it, and it's perfect for Pride Month, and that is I Can't Even Think Straight by Dean Atta. If you don't know who Dean Atta is the best-selling New York Times Stonewall Book Award of the Black Flamingo, and I read that book years ago and sobbed my eyes out. I can't believe I haven't read anything from him yet. This is their third novel, and it's written in verse, which I think is pretty cool. I might read it this weekend just to see if I can squeeze it in. But it's written in verse, and this was one that I actually didn't know about until the publisher's Epic Read, until they were posting about it. And I was like, oh, this is the same author of The Black Flamingo? Yes, please. So this one is following our main character named Kai. He's a rebellion grandson and best friend in the romantic breakup. He is trying to come out at school, but he keeps himself closeted from his best friends. So it's just a coming of age story and a coming out story as well. Hopefully it's not as triggering as some people have said it was, but it's written in verse. The back of this already sounds beautiful. It says, "Who am I? I'm a son, a best friend, a grandson, a cousin, and so much more. I am the angel and devil on the opposing shoulders. I am the beauty in the eye of the beholder. I am the boy behind the camera. I am the hand that turned the page. I am Malachi or Kai, angel or king. Who am I?" Like, the writing, I know I'm going to love this. This one I'm going to physically read this month. If I don't squeeze it in this weekend, I'll definitely read this as like my first book of July. So you might see it in my June or July wrap-up. Who knows? Another book that I feel like I can easily read soon is a middle grade book. It's actually one of my most anticipated middle grade reads. I read this author's other trilogy and absolutely loved it, so I was so excited to see that she's coming back with a new trilogy. And so that is Dreamslinger by Gracie Kim. I'm so excited. This is a first of a new middle grade fantasy trilogy from the same author who brought us the last Fallen Realm trilogy. That was such a fun coming of age story, mythology inspired. And this one's also Chinese mythology, I want to say. We follow our 14-year-old Anna lives in Rest Haven home for Dreamslinger, a safe haven for children born with the genetic mutation that transports them to a powerfully magic realm while they sleep. But the magic that can be unpredictable, even deadly. After all, it was only 10 years ago that members of the Royal League of Dreamslinger caused the Great Outburst, a tragedy that killed hundreds of people, including Ari's mom. Since then, Ari's dad has become the leading expert of Dreamslinger welfare, which means Ari knows better than most what it takes to keep society safe from her and others like her. Separation, identification, and most importantly, power suppression. Sounds like it's going to be a heavy topic for a middle grade book. It feels like this should be more YA with those topics discussed, but I'm excited. I really don't need to know too much about this. It's another one of my most anticipated reads, and it's the first of a new series, so very stoked. And this cover, my camera doesn't even do it justice, but like this cover, gorgeous. And then the map on the inside, gorgeous. Like, yes please. I'm telling you, May had the best covers. Next book is a book I haven't read yet, but I should be reading it soon as well. This is a graphic novel. Yes, you heard that. Another graphic novel. I actually haven't bought a graphic novel since, like, the Mortal Instruments series, so I was so excited to go to the graphic novel section at my Barnes and get this one. Apparently, this is a prequel to one of my favorite series, though, so I was like, how have I not known about this, and why did I not read this sooner? And that is Coven by Simone Chanier. Like I said, this is a prequel novel to the School for Good and Evil series. I'm in love with that universe. I cannot stop thinking about that universe. It's one of my all-time favorite series, maybe like my number one. So I'm excited to read this one. Look at these artwork in here. Like, oh, gorgeous artwork. I can't wait to read this. I know I'm going to devour this one. I've been hearing nothing but great reviews about it as well. This will be a fun book to pick up for a 24-hour readathon that I'm planning on in July. The next book is a book that I've read, and I didn't enjoy it, but I enjoyed it enough to recommend to you guys. So I read this in the month of June for Dana's readathon for those and chill, and that is The Thrashers by Julie Soto. I picked this one up on a whim because I read the synopsis at Barnes & Noble, and I also read the first chapter, and I was intrigued. The only thing I didn't love was like how much social media of our time is used in here, if that makes sense. This follows a group of characters, and the main person that it follows is Zach Thrasher, and he's involved in this like murder case, and he is like the bad boy. Everybody wants to have him, and there's this murder case that he's involved with, and everybody thinks he did it. Did he do it? I don't know. You'll have to read and find out. It was very intriguing. I give it 3.5, and I'll talk more about this in my May, or actually in my June wrap up. Next book is a book I think everybody and their mother will be excited for me to read. This is a hefty fantasy, actually more romantasy than anything. It's very popular. I feel like I was left out. I had a lot of FOMO with not reading this one, and there's been mixed reviews on it, but I'm excited to see what Quicksilver by Callie Hart has in store for me. This is a first of a new to me series. It's very chunky too. It's like 700 pages, I think. Yeah, 609 pages exactly. I'm so scared to read this. This sounds so good. I keep seeing this at my Barnes & Noble every time I went in, like either this year or last year. And I'm just like, okay, It's time. I'm ready to read this. Let's see what it's about. I'm nervous to read this. I'm going to save this for the fall because I think that's when book 2 comes out. I don't know what book 2 is called. So sorry. But I've been hearing mixed reviews about this one as well. But again, I wanted to read it to find out what my own opinions are. And I think I would love this one. I just don't know how smutty this one will be because I do hear it gets a little spicy. I just don't know how spicy, you know? If you guys know without spoiling it, let me know down in the comments. I would definitely love that. But yeah, stoked to get to this. And it's the first of a new series. I feel like everybody and their mother has read this already, and I haven't yet. So there's that. The next book I have is one of my most anticipated reads for the month of May. Actually, this came out in May. My goodness, my months are confusing. This is The Survivor Wants to Die at the End by Adam Savera. This one, another chunky book too. I'm so scared to read this. If you guys know me, I put all of Adam's books in like my top 10 of the year because each and every one of them makes me sob. The last one, The First to Die at the End, sobbed my eyes out. I'm nervous to read this one. I don't want to read this one, but I also do, you know that feeling, right? So this one I hear follows Paz and who's Alano, and we get to see how Death Cast is created. This is like book 3 of the series, I want to say. The first one is they both die at the end, and then the first to die at the end, and now the survivor wants to die at the end, and then there's a 4th one coming next year. Very stoked to get to this. It's like one I must read like right now. But it's so chunky as well. Let's see how much this one is without spoiling myself. Ooh. Can I not spoil myself, please? Oh my gosh, 705 pages. What? I'm nervous. I know I'm going to fly through this because that's Adam's writing for me. No romance. It's going to wreck me. I'm scared. I love these characters as we met them in the previous book, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this one. Is excited the right word, though? I don't know. It's one of my most anticipated reads. I'm moving on. I don't have any other words. The next book, I saw this at Barnes & Noble on one of like the new releases shelf, and this one intrigued me. It said The Greatest Showman meets The Little Mermaid, and I was like, hello? And it's also queer too. Like, what? And it's the author's debut fantasy novel. Like, what the heck? So that is When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly. This is a not YA. Is it YA? I don't know if this is YA or not. Ooh, TJ Klune, Becky Albertalli, and Julian Winters. Oh my goodness. 3 authors I love have blibbed this. This sounds amazing. This has beautiful illustrations throughout the novel. And all the illustrations are like blue. So there's like headings like that. I read the first chapter of this one at Barnes as well, and it sounds amazing. It's like a Little Mermaid retelling with The Greatest Showman influence. And like I said, it's queer. So I want to have a queer retelling on my shelf, and hopefully I'll get around to it soon. If I don't, I'll be so sad. The next book is one that I read and really enjoyed, and that was Summer in the City by Alex Astor. This is a adult romance standalone novel. I read this during a trip I did recently to San Diego, and it was such a fun read to do because in this book there's a scene where the main characters went to a baseball game, and I also went to not the same baseball game, but I also went to a baseball game that trip. And I was like, how funny that happened in like the same week. So quick read, fun, easy, fly through. I love Alex's ass. I just said Alex's ass. Oh my God. I love Alex Astor's writing. I'm so sorry, but I love your writing, and I can't wait to see what you have in store for more romances, because this had enemies to lovers set in New York City. Love that setting. Love it, love it, love it. And then next book is it wouldn't be a Drew's Ambitious Reading video if I don't include Star Wars, right? I mean, look at my background. Star Wars characters there, Star Wars characters here, and books everywhere. But this is the newest Star Wars book that I am adding to my collection, and that is Star Wars Reign of the Empire. But this is The Mask of Fear, book 1 from Alexandra Freed, or Alexander, sorry. I'm messing up my words badly today. Holy crap. This one I don't really remember too much. I think this is like before, oh, one of my reading challenges fell out. Sorry. This is before Rogue One and Andor, I think. I don't know. I saw it. I was in a Star Wars book that I didn't know about. So, and it's Barnes & Noble exclusive as well. So I was like, yes, please. Next book is a popular new release that I also caved and bought because everybody and their mother was reading this one, and that is Shield of Sparrows by Devin Perry. This is a adult fantasy standalone first book of a series. I don't know. This is from Red Tower Books, and I know I'm gonna buy everything from that company because I've really been enjoying their novels lately, and it's such a pretty edition too. There's the front cover, the spine. The back has a quote says, "Being the sparrow isn't an honor, it's a trap." The front has a quote that says, "Fear the monsters we make." And there's a beautiful edges with stencil design on it. And then there's also beautiful artwork on the end papers too. Like, yes, please. Oh yeah, and then I forgot. There's beautiful foil on the dust jacket too. So yeah, I'm very excited to be reading this one. Hopefully I'll love this one. I was supposed to read it in June for my friend Lyndsay over at She's Bookin' Busy's book club, but I sadly didn't get around to reading it. So hopefully I'll get around to it this fall because it sounds really good. And I think it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling too. It deals with Fae. So I don't know too much about it. Just got it because of the hype, you know? Sometimes you have to do that. Speaking of buying books because of the hype, I have a book that actually I'm very mad about. So long story short, I tried to buy this from Book of the Month. When I bought this from Book of the Month, it was like sold out or something, or they didn't have like enough copies in their stores. So they couldn't send me my box originally, but then they canceled my order and I had to replace it without getting this book. But in the end, I got this one at Target for like 30% off. And that is, ooh, this is chunky. That is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I feel like I don't need to talk about this book just because it is one of the new popular fantasy ones. Beautiful silver edges, and I got it from Target, so what more can I say? I know this is definitely a first book of a, this one says, in the first book of a sizzling dystopian romance series, psychic gifts are a death sentence, and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. I'm so stoked. This is getting compared to like Fourth Wing and Divergent, two of my favorite new fandoms. Well, Divergent's old, but you know what I mean. Two of my favorite fandoms. I can't wait to jump into this one. And then next is the April book club pick that I was supposed to read in April, but I never got to. But that is Where Shadow Meets by Patrice Caldwell. I'm so stoked to be reading this one. I'm saving this for the fall, though, because although I picked this for my April, I feel like I should have picked this for October. This deals with BIPOC characters, and it's also vampires. And I believe it's sapphic, too. Or is it male? I can't remember. But this is another beautiful edition. Like, what? This quote says, "You have no idea what I've done for love, just as you have no idea what you may one day do." I need to say more. It's a queer YA fantasy. It's the author's debut fantasy novel as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was very eager for this one. Yeah, romantic vampire fantasy that questioned what it truly means to sacrifice for love. Need I say less? so. And then the last 3 books I bought are my May Book of the Month pick. I was going to do 4 books, but like I said, they had an issue with Silver Elite. So I got 3 other books. My main pick for the month was, if I can grab it, The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North. This is a adult thriller standalone novel. I'm very nervous for this one because I've only read 1 book by him and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the novel, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about his writing. I've heard negative things about this one, sadly, but I'm going to read it, form my own opinion, and see what I think of this one. But this was my main pick for the month of May. And then my 2 add-ons are the Amelia Curse. Amelia Curse. I don't know how to say this word. Oh my gosh, it should be so easy. Anyways, this book. This book was honestly just a cover buy. I do have The Lost Apothecary by this author. I don't know where I put it on my rainbow shelf. I'll have to see like what the color spine is. But I do have The Lost Apothecary and I do want to read that eventually. But this one sounds so good. It's a mermaid story, so it's set at the sea. This one says, oh, it's witchcraft, actually. It says, powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas, beware the Amelia Curse. Need I say more? I'm so stoked to get to this. And then also another one I'm so stoked to get to is a sequel / finale to the duology. And I didn't realize this was a duology until one of you guys mentioned it on Instagram. And I was like, oh, I can binge read this series this summer. And that is A Curse Carved in Bone by Daniel L. Jensen. This is book 2 of the Unfated series. I actually have book 1 right here from Book of the Month because I was supposed to read it in June for a reading challenge, but I didn't get around to reading it. A Fate Inked in Blood. I hear nothing but amazing things about this series, so I definitely want to start it this summer and hopefully finish it. Don't they look so good together? This is why I love when Book of the Month does matching sets and also like does the sequel to the series, you know? They just look so well together. I'm so excited to start this. I hope to get to this year. If I don't, I'm definitely going to save these for fall. As Viking stories, I really don't want to know too much about book 2 because I haven't read book 1 yet, but just know I'm eager to get to these and hopefully I will. I can't stop staring at these covers. They're so stunning. Anyways, that was the final books in my very long May book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. What emoji should we leave down below? Ooh, just because it was kind of creepy, let's leave an eye emoji. Is that the right side? Let's leave an eye emoji just because it's kind of a creepy one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this a big thumbs up. I've already did my outro, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. I'm a hot mess today. I'm sorry. Love you. Bye.